Hi there. Have you ever wondered if your ideas that are rattling around in your head are just dumb or could maybe work out really cool? Well, my name's Josh and I'm with Town Creek ATV, and I have the same problem. Oftentimes I can hold my thoughts to myself and not get overindulged, but every once in a while I let one slip. Today is one of those days. Welcome to Town Creek ATV. You ever looked at your Defender and gone, damn, I wish it rode better? God, it rides like a covered wagon. Especially if you got decent sized tires, wheels and whatnot to do what the Defenders are ultimately made to do. I have a solution for you. At least I think I do. We're gonna find out in this video together, because I searched Google, YouTube, Bing, Ask Jeeves, WikiHow, and it doesn't. No one's ever done it. No one's done it. What is it? It's putting Maverick XMR shocks on your Defender. The guy I bought the 30s off of, that you'll see in video number 1, was parting out his XMR Maverick 1000. And I said, hey man, how much for the shocks? He said, I don't know. X amount of dollars a piece. I said, sold. I'll come get them tomorrow. Now I scrounged the internet for hours looking at, has anyone done this? Has it been done? Are there pictures, videos, something? No, there's not. The only problem I ran across was, if you look at a Maverick shock, one bolt faces this way, one bolt faces this way. Well, on the Defenders, they all face this direction. Now, not a problem. You bolt the bottom side in, do a little twist, and you can move the mounting positions. That's perfectly fine. The second issue I'm going to run into is these are going to interfere, most likely, with the rear sway bar. Now, I don't give a shit. I'll take that thing off. I want a better ride, and potentially these things should lift it. These are 24 inches eye to eye. Now, the Defender under load is 19 inches. So theoretically, my thought process and my redneck math is I should gain approximately 2 inches of lift, roughly, maybe 1, not sure yet. So these might not be a problem. And if they are, we're gonna yeet that rear diff, or the rear drive shaft. And if that's a problem, we're gonna yeet that rear sway bar all the way up onto the wall where it belongs. So, without further ado, let's do it. And we're gonna start in the back, of course, because it's the heaviest in the back of the motor, and everything is in the back. So we're gonna start in the back with the rear shocks. We're gonna see what we run into with these reservoirs. And I mean, I can tell these things are actually in pretty decent shape because the factory sticker's still there. So, are they perfect? No. But for what I paid for them, they may as well be. Nope. Oh yeah, you're doing a steering wheel too. That's definitely a wall one. I'm doing this in the shop instead of the garage like I thought I was going to, because if this winds up lifting the Defender way too much, I'll have to take it back off and hit the spring compressor to take some preload out. I'm thinking that won't be a problem, but I won't know until I try. So let's get after it. We're going to start by getting the rear up. Technically, I should not have to take the tires off. What I am curious about is just how much flex I get out of these shocks when I lift it off the ground. Okay, about an inch of flex. I got about an inch of flex out of it. That's kind of what I was expecting. Now, the third part of this project is, okay, now I have these Defender shocks. I know the Outlander shocks are worn out, so do I just take the Defender shocks, pull the lip plugs out of them, and build these on the Outlander? Stay tuned for a potential part 3, you know what I mean? Oh, the old F-250 leaks more oil than Wally. Alright, we got plenty of play. Plenty of play. see what I'm saying here in a second. Yeah. That's what I thought. Be an issue. Sway bar is right in the way. And I will definitely have to take some preload out of these. Off. And I'll get the rest of the links and everything off. Wow, that doesn't have anything to it. Wow. Wait. Eye to eye. We've got, what's that? 3 inches difference, roughly. So I definitely got to take some preload out of these. But I'd like to see, just for shits and giggles, if I can make it fit. Now the sway bar's out anyway. Oh, that's a stick. I mean, the bottom goes in. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, that's going to pull the axle out of the dip right there. So yeah, we got to take like all the preload out of this. Alright, so what I did is basically gave myself 3 inches here to make up the difference. You know, it's super easy just turning that. If you don't have a spring compressor, you can rent one of those little advanced auto parts compressors, but those things have killed more people than Jeffrey Epstein, just saying. Go ahead, bolt the bottom one in, and try to compress the shock down.
At this point, I should have dropped the keepers down all the way to where it meets the spring, because it was way too loose to begin with. So I should have just went ahead and run those keepers all the way down till it met the spring, and then kept on going as much as I could with my hands. And you'll see me explain all this in about 3 minutes. I had to do all sorts of redneckery to make it work after I'd gotten it installed in the machine.
Now here's the deal. This is trial and error. If I put this thing together and it sags way too much, then I can always put it back on the machine and readjust the preload. That's not a problem at all. Now, just for 50 giggles, let's go ahead and drop this. It's not even remotely tight yet. I can already tell you, I gotta put more preload in that. Well, that's sagging like hell. side definitely has more give, that's for sure. I gotta look at the adjustments on this too and see what all I can do to it. But, I mean, that's it. It works. A lot more flex. A lot more flex. Yeah, it's nowhere near as punk as it was. Yeah, pretty much all I can do. Back like you found it. Now I'm just gonna wash and rinse and repeat on the other side. Got the link out. So I'm gonna do that side now. Same thing. And hopefully the front won't fight us this much, but I'm sure it will. Well, the rear's done. Trial and error. I know I said that like 17 times, but seriously, trial and error. I adjusted them 3 times. It's actual water flavored water. I adjusted them 3 times, set the preload 3 times to get the height right. Broke out the ratchet strap method. It actually worked out really, really well on those shocks. And I can tell you right now, it rides excruciatingly better. But I'm thinking this is gonna push to tomorrow. Golly. I lost about 1 inch of ride in the back. That's okay. The shocks aren't at near as bad of an angle. Now the front should technically be easier, so I might mess around and see what I can do with them. I don't know. We'll see. There's no removing the sway bar or anything like that on the front, so you know what? Screw it. It's still daylight. The sun's out. I'm out. Let's get it done. Well, I finished the Defender. Multiple cuss words and thought processes and rented tools and a bunch of stuff later. It's finally done. Still clears at 33s, and it definitely looks meaner. I mean, because it actually flexes. It doesn't just kind of stay there. Check this thing. Does that? Oh, yeah. Cover. Does that not look so much better? Used all the factory hardware from the Maverick, and you can see I have great angle here. Side to side I have great angle, but obviously, you know, when we get to crawling and stuff, it'll flex and move and do what it's supposed to do. Still have clearance on the tires. I've already checked that. It's done, guys. And the great part about it is I can still, if I want to, I can add some more preload to these to do what I want it to do. But best thing we can do right now is take it for a test drive, because I got to put gas in it. It was screaming for gas. So I'll put, I don't know, a gallon in it to get me to the gas station. Street legal. Why not? Let's take it down the road. Let's wear these shocks in a little bit. They've been fully extended for a hot minute on a plank, on a old machine. Seat belts for safety. I brought my pliers along just in case I want to turn it down some. But so far, I'm super stoked with it. It definitely doesn't sit as high as it used to, but it'll actually flex and articulate, which will make riding the trails easier. Before I had no flex whatsoever. So I'm gonna hit the gas station. We'll see y'all in a little bit.
So I think the biggest advantage of doing this upgrade is the flexibility I have now. Like, it's pretty obvious in the back that I'm actually able to flex out like almost 12 inches. And this isn't even that deep of a hole. This is just a ravine I have in my backyard. Then I've got this tire way up here, and that tire is drooped way down in the hole. Whereas the other shocks, I'd be teeter-tottering right now. And that's really bad on the rear diff, first and foremost. And secondly, I didn't have the traction. So now I can sit there. I don't even need to do four-wheel drive because all 4 tires are connected to the ground. Now, of course, if this was a really big mud hole, then I'd have to have 4-wheel drive and I'd have all 4 tires grabbing the mud. So that's really the really big advantage. Now, did I lose a little bit of ground clearance? Yeah, maybe an inch or so, but I still think it looks pretty sick. I'm really happy with it. And here's the deal, guys. I spoke with the wife last night, and she said $4 grand. Just let me get 6-inch portals. So what I need you guys to do is subscribe, hit that like button, comment on this video. Watch the ads. No, I'm just kidding. You don't watch the ads. Skip the ads. Screw that. Just watch my videos, like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll holler at you later.